Alright, so in this video let's talk about search engine optimization, or how I kind of succeeded to get a semi-passive income for a while until I sold that website. And the key to that was me kind of creating a low effort content creation format. What I mean by that is that at first the site that I had created was like for about a year it just was there, nothing was happening. I had created like maybe 5 articles written for it, and because I focused kind of too much on the best practices of SEO, which was like a specific word count, like the more words you have, the better. I tried creating like very original content, and by original I mean like I had written it from like zero, and so on. And because it just took so much effort to do, I kind of stopped at 5 articles or blog posts or whatever. So for a year this website didn't do anything until I decided to try and kind of come up with a better strategy. And so what I did was I created a format of instead of writing the blog posts from scratch, I started curating content. So basically curating images that I found in different Flickr, or was it Flickr? I think it was Flickr. Different like galleries and like design blogs and so on. And that it was like a business card design blog that I had, a niche blog. So, well, at first it wasn't business card design blog. It was basically it was a niche website which I created with the sole purpose of making money. And the domain, the niche were all selected based on the Google AdWords like cost per click back then, which was kind of high enough to make sense, and it seemed kind of interesting enough. Although it was, I think it was kind of design related, business card design, stuff like that. So yeah, and I took it kind of literally in the search engine optimization sense, that you need to have like 500 word articles, stuff like that. But then I realized that most people who are searching for business card designs, they want to see business card designs, like creative, unique business cards that look good, are interesting, noteworthy, or like whatever. Basically something that would grab someone's attention, like their client's attention. So they would like want some inspiration for their business cards, or they wanted to find a printer who like prints interesting cards, or a designer who designs interesting business cards. So then I realized that that's just images. They don't really want to read anything, they want images, right? So lesson number 1 there was that you have to actually understand what your target market wants. So your like whoever is searching these keywords, or for whomever you're creating the content, what is it that they want? What's their goal? Do they want to find inspiration? Do they want to learn how to design a business card or whatever? do they want to do something else, right? So lesson number one, your content has to actually be related to the user's actual goal. Lesson number two was creating a low effort format, because if you can post, I don't know, so basically I went from posting 5 articles in a year to about 3 posts per day, so 90 posts in a month. So from 5 to 90. Obviously, there were mostly images. There wasn't a lot of text, but there was enough text where it actually increased the word count on the website and so on. So the result was that my content grew continuously, regularly, instead of being like one jump, okay, 500 word article, then another one, then another one, then long pause, then maybe another one. So obviously that old model that I was kind of trying to do doesn't work long term if it's just something that is too much, if it requires you to write a long article. Now these days, of course, this is a bit different because you have ChatGPT, you have different LLM models which would allow you to write longer articles and so on. But again, the point is, instead of focusing on some crazy search engine optimization best practices, to focus on regular content creation, something that you like ideally could do daily, something that takes you 5 minutes if you like can handle it. For example, Seth Godin, one of the most well-known names in internet or marketing in general, he has posted, I don't know how many blog posts, but it's a big number, and a lot of them aren't more than maybe one paragraph. It's like maybe slightly longer than the original tweet length. So sometimes it would be longer, sometimes it would be like a decent article, but because he, like, whenever he had an idea, whenever he had a thought, he posted it. Because of that, the actual number of posts and as a result also the word count just increased regularly and got to a high amount. So basically, I call this concept the minimum bankable unit, which means that like what is the smallest unit or smallest increment of value that you can put out there so that it's like an actual thing. So like basically, if we're talking text articles, it could be tweet basically, or it could be a tweet long blog post, right? Or if maybe like you're not actually blogging, let's say, but you have maybe fewer pages on your website, but you're trying to get it like to be, I don't know, let's say 1,000 words for one page, right? So maybe it's frequently asked questions, or it's like best practices in your field, whatever your like the page is, you could be increasing the word count little by little. You could be adding, okay, so here's another thought that could be relevant here. So you add this line, you format or write it in a way where it's like, could be one sentence, or it could be even just 2 words. So maybe you have like a list in that page where it's like, okay, other concepts or other things to consider when doing this, or when, I don't know, ordering these services, like what is the amount of time it takes you to, I don't know, whatever, right? So basically any sort of ideas, any sort of thoughts that you could be adding there, you can add there without like writing a long ass article which will take you a long time to write and format and perfect and just even start. Because okay, do I have time to write a 500 word article? Not right now. I guess I'll do it sometime next week, and then next week, and then next week, and then you'll realize that, okay, it's been half a year and I haven't done it. So the point is that you should be thinking about ways to do minor improvements, minor, I don't want to say adjustments, and even not improvements, but minor additions, I guess. Well, basically, like, ideally it would be some sort of a post, or just adding text to an existing page or article or whatever. Like, okay, instead of writing an article every week, you will add one sentence to an article every day, right? So okay, maybe it starts as a tweet, kind of a tweet length article, maybe very short paragraph where you explain, okay, so the benefits of my service are this, this, and this. 3 things. That's it. Very simple. Then next day you will maybe expand on one of the benefits. So why is this benefit important? Well, because if you don't consider this benefit, you will be wasting a lot of time, right? And time is money, so blah, 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 right? Then the next day you will expand on the other benefit. Next day you will expand on the third benefit. Then maybe you will add another benefit, or you will maybe encounter some sort of a problem in delivering your service or in communication with one of your clients. So you will think, okay, how could I add this to this page? Well, maybe, right, one of the things to consider when ordering this service is that I need at least 1 day or 2 days or 1 week notice when you want to change something in our agreement, for example. And that's because I have pre-planned most of my, I don't know, client work for a week in advance, for example. So every time you get an idea or thought or a problem, or find a solution to a problem, you can put this into a simple sentence, one true sentence. Okay, whenever I provide this service, I make sure that my client has the best experience in communication, for example. That's it. Very simple sentence. But is it something that you think about? Yes? Great. Add that. If there's another thing that you think about, okay, so whenever I film a video with my client, I first consider where this content will go. Like, will this be a YouTube video? Will this be a TikTok video? Will this be an Instagram video? Will this be just a video that they put on their website? Like, this is important. And at first it's just this. Okay, I consider this. Where does it go? This. These options. Then next day I'll think, I should maybe expand here. Basically, at first I had maybe like 4 bullet points: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, website, right? 4 bullet points at first. Then I'll think, okay, how are these actually different? So like intuitively I know, subconsciously I know, because, well, I'm kind of dealing with those platforms every day when I'm creating videos for clients, but maybe I haven't communicated it to my clients before. So now I think, okay, let's make the subconscious conscious. Right, so YouTube videos are longer. People already assume that they're gonna watch a longer video unless it's like YouTube Shorts, right? Right, so maybe one important thing in YouTube videos is the first 3 seconds or 5 or 10 seconds where like you grab the viewer's attention. Okay, and then maybe it's simpler to film the video. Then for TikTok videos, they are maybe up to 30 seconds long or 15 seconds or whatever. So you think, okay, obviously those are shorter videos. They can be longer now, whatever. But the important thing in TikTok videos, again, is the first few seconds, and then to cut out everything that's unnecessary in the video, like as short as possible, because if the user watches the video to the end, then the video gets promoted to more users, right? So you put that in writing. So basically you go through all 4 platforms. They're different in this way, this way, this way, this way. That's it. Just very simply, these are the differences. Then next day, maybe you think a bit more about it. Well, one strategy for YouTube is that we, I don't know, do this and this. TikTok, that, and something else, and so on. So basically you add one little pebble of value to your website's content every day. And by doing that, Google already sees, okay, so this website is improving constantly. And the other thing is that you are in tune with the website constantly, with the value communication that you're basically doing through your website, through the content, through the maybe images that you're adding. And not only that, but you start thinking more about the way you offer your services or your products. You start thinking more about, okay, so because there's always some sort of communication going on, either with your clients or with the website viewers or whatever, right? But you're not actually maybe talking to your clients every day. You're not making sales calls every day. But if you're constantly thinking about value communication through adding content to your website, then that habit becomes like a constant improvement spiral, right? Like a positive spiral. So whatever improvement is going on here on your website and in your head will get transferred to those more rare client calls or sales calls or communication with your customers or potential customers. So now not only are you improving your website content, your search engine optimization, but you're also improving your client communication. Your clients get more aware of what you're providing to them, because sometimes it's okay, we got this, I don't know, video or whatever, but we don't know what went behind that. Like, we didn't think about, oh, so you thought about this before. It wasn't just a random chance or just automatic thing that happens. You had to think about it, and you knew how to communicate it to us so that we would understand. That makes sense, and that's pretty cool that you knew how to explain this to us so that we would understand your value better. Because sometimes you could have two service providers and one is offering a far better service, but because they don't know how to communicate it, sometimes you will choose another service provider and their service is much worse, but they talk about it constantly. Yeah, so here's what we did and so on. So the whatever meager value that they're providing, you're constantly hearing about it. You understand the process, why they're doing it, and maybe they're charging far more, but you kind of know what you're paying for, even though you're getting less than with this service provider, but they just didn't know how to communicate their value. Right. So my main point is figure out a format for constantly adding content to your website. Like, is it like a daily blog post? Is it just a line or a sentence that you add to your website like service page? Is it or maybe it's like multiple things. Of course, the more things the better. You have options. You're approaching it from different sides. So maybe you're from time to time you're adding testimonials to your website. From time to time you're adding more like examples, like specific examples of value or services that you've provided. Like, for example, I made one video for one product, and then I made a testimonial video about that product, just a random example. And this becomes also like the more content you create, the more keywords are in that content. Like, just like consider every keyword, every searchable keyword, a potential hook in the sense of like fishing. Like, the more hooks you have in the, I don't know, sea, the more fish might bite, right? So with content on your website, the more content you have, the more text, more, I don't know, articles, more words you have, the more of them will contain keywords that your potential customers might be looking for. With search engine optimization, there's a rule that 80% of content comes from long tail keywords, meaning like keywords that get maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 searches per month, as opposed to short tail keywords, which are like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 searchers per month, or 10,000, depending obviously on your niche. But like these could get 10,000 searches per month. These get like 5 searches per month, but there's so many of them that in volume they make up 80% of the searches or website visits from search engines. So the more text, just pure text, obviously relevant text, relevant to your services, to your niche, the more text you have on the website, and pages as well, but mostly text, although pages as well, the more opportunities the search engine has to kind of connect your website to your potential customer. Like somebody searches, okay, this, I don't know, blue, white car, like Ferrari, 78 year, whatever, I don't know anything about cars, in Texas, whatever, right? So I don't know, 5, 6 words, right? And you have a bunch of these words in your text somewhere, just like almost randomly, because you, like, the more text you have, the more matches Google will give to your page or whatever. Right, so that was a very long, very pointless probably video, but here we are. See you in the next one.